This is the Stockwell Roche Show, giving you real-time information you need to make educated decisions about buying and selling in the world-renowned Twin Cities. Now your hosts and real estate experts, Jason Stockwell and Josh Roche.
Good morning, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I'm Jason Stockwell, RE/MAX Results.
Don Eldridge, RE/MAX Results.
Welcome to the Stockwell Roche Show. We have another great show for you today. We're on every Sunday at 10 a.m. here on AM 1280 The Patriot. You can also check us out on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. On Facebook under Stockwell Roche Show, you can see videos of everything we do there. We've segmented them out into 4 segments for every show and a lot of valuable information, and you can see us all there if you did not get a chance to hear us or do not get a chance to hear us live at 10 a.m. on Sundays. So with us today, we have Chelsea Sonderland with RE/MAX Results, Team Stockwell.
Good morning, everybody.
And we have Jason Light, Envoy Mortgage, back fresh from Florida.
Looking tan.
Looking tan. And we have John
Just
Zeman.
kidding, look at YouTube.
John Zeman with Vanquish AP.
Happy Sunday.
And he does property management and all kinds of other things. So we'll get into his background and history and what he can do for you. So first off, a couple of things I wanted to share right out of the gate for you guys. For you, if you're thinking of selling or know someone who is thinking of selling. 5 things to do if you're selling that'll cost under $1,000. The first one is go and get an evaluation from myself or Dawn or someone on our team. We'd be happy to help you. You can find that on the website TC Real Estate Hour, tcrealestatehour.com. But tell me what you guys
Just to see
think.
how much your house is worth, or?
Yes, to do an evaluation, you can do that on there, or you can call us or reach out to us anyway. It's free. There's no cost. There's no obligation. We'll get you the valuation of your home. But if you are thinking of selling, and there's a couple things you think, oh man, I'm going to spend thousands. I've got to do all this. I've got to do all that. It's a lot of work. It is work. Don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of things you can do that are very, very cost effective and under $1,000 to probably get that return double, triple, tenfold that the money you spent. So first thing they're saying on here, this is from House Call, and Dawn, tell me what you think of these. First thing is get exterior repaired or siding repair or curb appeal. That's number 1.
I agree.
You agree? Good.
Yep. Well, that's the first point of contact when someone pulls up to your house and they're looking at your house is the exterior. So you want to make sure that it's as well maintained as possible.
And that's the first impression. And you only get one of those, right? First impression. Second one is paint your front door. Exterior again. I met with clients out in Chanhassen, and the front door, it faces south, and the paint had cracked, and it looked weathered and faded. And for $30, she said she could paint the front door. She asked me if I think she should do that. I said yes. If you have the half hour and $30 in paint, do that.
And go with a fun, bold color, something that's going to stand out to buyers, because then after they look at 10 houses, they're going to be like, but remember that one with the bright red door, the bright yellow door? People are going to remember that. So keep that in mind. Like, don't have it be so matchy-matchy to your siding. You want it to pop.
You want to give it a little bit of energy, right? Yeah, I agree.
And have it
Yeah.
unique so that it stands out.
And if you have shrubbery or flowers or landscaping, that'll bring it out as well. Next is stain the deck. Again, very cost-effective, something you can do yourself. And we all know if you've had a deck and you stain it, it's only going to last you a year, 2 years, 3 years. Who knows how long? Depends on if you shoveled it or not. But that's an easy one to do to give it that fresh look.
Yep, power washing the deck too. So if it's already
Yes.
stained, you can power wash it. Same with the siding. So if you have vinyl siding, power washing that right before you list.
Especially on your front entrance. So here's a tip too, and I went over this too with the seller. When Dawn and I are out showing buyers' houses, or any other agent is showing buyers' houses, there's a key lockbox on the door. The buyers are behind us, and we're fumbling around or opening that lockbox if it works, hopefully. And that can take anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. The buyers are standing there. What are they doing? They're not staring at us opening the lockbox. They're looking around. They're looking up at the soffit. They're looking at the wall. They're staring eye level at the door or at the concrete below them, or That's the first impression. So if there's little details that are off there, like broken concrete, really dirty siding, and cobwebs and whatnot, it leaves right away a bad taste or first impression, right?
My favorite is when we walk up to the door and there are little plants growing out of the gutters.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Or
always a
cracks in
good
the
one.
sidewalk, driveway, the weeds that come up.
Yep.
That
Power
just means
wash
your
the-
soil is fertile, right?
That's the next one. It says clean your gutters.
Soil is fertile? No.
Yeah. Clean your gutters and also exterior stuff. And then make sure your lawn is good if we're in the season where you can have a green grass or cut lawn without dandelions. So a lot of these things were exterior, just simple spring things to improve your house and that first impression. And then inside the home, I'd say the number one thing you can do, number one of all, of course, the obvious is clean, but number one thing that requires a little bit of work and maybe money is paint. Paint, you just cannot believe the amount of reward or return on investment.
Yeah.
you
Even if it's
receive
the same
from
color,
paint.
just
Yep.
a fresh coat of paint.
Yep.
Yep.
Paint goes a long way, along
I'm
with
not-
decluttering.
Yeah, we're not saying paint your entire house because that could take a lot of time and money, but areas that definitely get a lot of attention. Kitchen, that tends to be where the stains on the walls happen, or the fingerprints, or the dirt, and or the dings in the wall, and those sorts of things. The main areas that people really focus on. So those are some tips if you're thinking of selling. Call us, and also follow these tips, and we'd be happy to meet you and help you in any way we can. As far as the market update, we always start with a market update. I'll let Dawn take over on that. As far as what her opinion is of and what she's seen out there, boots on the ground, out in the field every day, showing buyers, meeting with sellers. What's the attitude? What are you feeling from people, or what are you hearing from buyers and sellers, or what's going on?
It's a really lean market right now. So the sellers are in the driver's seat. We're seeing homes sell in multiple offers constantly. Actually, I had a listing in Minneapolis. We dropped the price to under 3. While I was in Mexico, it went in multiple offers. Luckily, I had cell phone reception. And it sold for $20,000 over list price,
Wow.
which was less than the original list price.
So you did a strategy where it went down, and then you ended up getting more than you were even
Yep.
starting at.
You
Cash
mean more
buyer.
than the
Wow.
original list price?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It was crazy. So, and it's frustrating for buyers because, we as agents work really hard to get the offer in as fast as we can. Sellers understand what kind of market we're in. And so they're waiting until all the showings are done. Even if the buyers are coming in full price or a little over, they want to go in multiple offers. And it has happened often.
Sellers are being very, very savvy, very, very smart.
So what's the tip for the buyers going into these multiple offer situations? What advice do you have for them?
Well, we actually ended up in a multiple offer situation, and the sellers probably got 8 offers.
Wow.
And we were the first buyers to submit. They came in at their highest and best, which is what you have to do in multiple offers, and you have to let go of the emotion. You got to come forward with the most you'd ever want to pay for the house, and if you don't get it, it's fine. Someone paid more than you'd want to. But I wrote a letter.
That's a good advice. Very good
Yep.
advice.
Yeah.
I wrote a letter about my clients to the sellers, and it connected the sellers to my clients. My clients got the house, and they were not the highest offer.
Love hearing that story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are cool things,
impressive.
and that comes from a full-time experienced agent on your side helping you buy, and on the sell side, a strategy to come and play to help you sell and to hopefully get into a multiple offer situation. Here's why we're in multiple offer situations as well. Demand is at a 10-year high in the Twin Cities for supply. We're around 10-year high. Supply only at a 5-year high compared to the downturn or the foreclosure market. And we have a 2 to 3 month supply of homes in the Twin Cities for any buyer. So 2 to 3 months and we would be out of properties. There are between 5, this is the biggest staggering one, but there's between 5 and 8 buyers for every one property for sale. Between 5 and 8 buyers for every one property for sale. That is staggering and scary sometimes, and that's why you need professional help.
You had mentioned there's a 2 to 3 month supply, and typical is 5 to 6 months.
Yeah,
For those who don't know,
Yep.
so just so you guys understand out there, that's pretty low.
Pretty low amount of supply.
And a lot of homes are selling off the market. So they're selling before they hit, which is another reason why it's important to get in with a good buyer rep that can get you into homes before they hit the market. And you can also avoid multiple offers that way. Although I did have a listing that sold off the market in multiple offers. That was very interesting. And exciting for the seller.
It's listed it's for sale, but it's not even on the MLS. That's what we're talking about, folks. Actually, so future shows, we're going to have a show on that, on pre-marketing, and why it is so crazy right now and why it works to the advantage of the seller a lot of times, and why you as a buyer can take advantage of the pre-market if you have agents that understand and know pre-market strategy. So we'll have a show on that in the future. And the one last thing I want to chime on, and this is we'll get Jason Light's take on his opinion of the market right now. The prediction that I just heard from someone else, not me, not Dawn, not anybody sitting here, is that rates will go up to the mid-4s, 4.5 by the end of the year, not anything dramatic, and that the appreciation in values for 2016 will be a moderate 4 to 6% rate instead of the 10 to 12 that we saw last year. Jason, what's happening in the mortgage world? Do you agree with that? And do you see a lot of things like Don was talking about in mortgages?
Yeah, well, excuse me. I get the blunt of it because I'm dealing with the buyers. I don't deal with sellers. And so all of my pre-approvals, that's exactly what we're feeling is they find a property, they have to get in there and get an offer in immediately because it's multiple or gone, whatever it may be. So I 100% have been feeling that more than I was thinking 15 years actually. So it's crazy when it comes to that. The tips I would say though is what we're doing to leverage that is getting a full pre-approval and clearing the conditions before you're making the offer.
Yep.
Which is different than a pre-qualification, correct?
Means an underwriter has essentially reviewed your file, has conditioned it out, and you have sent the conditions in. So all you're waiting for is an appraisal and a title. Puts you in a position to close fast. It's secure. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about the approval. And then if possible, try to save up a little bit more. Do no closing costs and have your funds available to close. Don't ask for seller closing costs.
Those are tips. Jason and I are working with buyers right now in Richfield. Extremely hot market right now, and we are having Jason is doing an awesome job on his end because they're pre-approved and they've been through underwriting, so they're good as gold as far as the buy side, which is awesome. But on my end, we're banging our head against the wall on these houses. We lost the first one that they really, really, really wanted in multiple offers, and if they could go back, I'm sure they would have raised their price higher, like Don said, to a price that they would have said, hey, this is top. If we don't get it, then we're totally okay with that. They didn't quite go that high, I'm learning. So anyway, we're struggling. So we'll be back soon with more great information. Thanks for listening.
Get away.